In the world of professional wrestling, legacies are built with blood, sweat, and sacrifice. Some men become gods inside the ring, their names echo through generations. But what happens when their own blood surpasses them? When the sons and daughters of legends step inside the same ring, they don't just carry a name, they carry a burden. From Ric Flair's golden robes to Randy Orton's venomous precision. From Dusty Rhodes' dream to Cody's nightmare, every generation tried to outshine the one before. Tonight, we're not talking about legends who made history. We're talking about the children who rewrote it. 10 families, 10 bloodlines, 10 stories of legacy, pride, and evolution. This is the untold saga of 10 wrestling legends outshined by their own children. Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair, the Golden Legacy reborn. There was a time when the name Flair meant wrestling royalty. Ric Flair wasn't just a performer, he was a walking symbol of charisma, excess, and greatness. With his flowing robes, golden hair, and words that cut deeper than a blade, Ric ruled the squared circle like no other. He was the nature boy, the man who stylized wrestling into an art form. But as time passed and the 80s faded into history, so did his era of glory. Then came Charlotte Flair. At first, she was just Ric's daughter, a shadow walking behind an untouchable legend. But what started as a tribute soon became a transformation. Charlotte didn't just live up to the Flair name, she elevated it. In a world dominated by men, she became the face of women's wrestling. From NXT to WrestleMania, she broke barriers, broke bones, and built her own throne. Now when fans chant "woo," and it's no longer just for Ric Flair, it's for the dynasty he created, and the daughter who carried it. Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes, the dream that never died. Dusty Rhodes was the American dream, a man who rose from nothing. No golden body, no family fortune, no corporate push, just heart and soul. He spoke for the common man, fought for every fan who felt unheard, and became one of the most loved wrestlers in history. But even legends grow old, and the dream slowly began to fade. Then came Cody, the son who carried the pain of being Dusty's boy. For years, Cody lived in his father's shadow, in WWE. He was Stardust, painted and mocked, a cosmic joke. But deep down, the dream burned brighter. Cody walked away, rebuilt himself brick by brick, and returned not as Dusty's son, but as the American nightmare. His comeback wasn't just a victory. It was the completion of Dusty's dream. The son became the story his father once imagined. Proof that the dream never really dies. It just changes hands. Mysterio and Dominic. Mysterio. From mask to betrayal. Rey Mysterio changed wrestling forever. The smallest man in the ring, yet the biggest heart anyone had ever seen. He made lucha libre a global language. His mask became a symbol of pride, honor, and mystery. Fans adored him, children looked up to him, including his own son Dominic. Dominic grew up watching his father soar. But every child of a legend eventually faces the same question. Can I ever be more than his son? At first, Dominic followed Rey's footsteps, training, learning, fighting beside him. But soon the story twisted. The same ring that united father and son became the battlefield that tore them apart. Dominic turned on Rey, removing not just his loyalty, but the sacred bond of blood. For fans, it was shocking. For Rey, it was heartbreaking. But for Dominic, it was freedom. The boy who grew up idolizing the mask became the man who ripped it apart. Rock and Roman Reigns, bloodline of power. The Rock's rise was something wrestling had never seen before. From Rocky Maivia to the People's Champion, he conquered. The ring, then Hollywood, becoming one of the most famous names on earth. But before The Rock, there was his father, Rocky Johnson, who broke racial barriers and made history. Their legacy didn't end there, it evolved. Because from the same bloodline came Roman Reigns. Different generation, same island roots, but a new kind of dominance. Roman didn't just carry The Rock's legacy, he transformed it into something darker, something primal. As the tribal chief, Roman didn't seek cheers, he demanded acknowledgement. The Rock built the foundation. Roman turned it into an empire. And now their inevitable collision feels like destiny. One bloodline. Two gods fighting for the same throne. The Hitman. Hart and Natalya. the excellence continued. Bret Hart was technical perfection. Every move, every match, a masterpiece. He wasn't the loudest, but he was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And from that legendary bloodline came Natalya Neidhart, daughter of Jim. The Anvil Neidhart, Bret's tag partner and a proud heart. Natalya grew up inside the dungeon, trained by her uncles, molded by tradition and fueled by pride. In WWE's women's division, she became the link between the old guard and the new era. Every lock, every submission, every victory, a tribute to the Hart legacy. For fans, she's not just Bret's niece, she's the living proof that the Hart family's excellence didn't end. It evolved. Mr. Perfect and Curtis. Axel, the legacy of perfection. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. The name said it all. Every move he made looked effortless. Every match, pure art. He was the man who made perfection look natural. But behind the charm and athleticism was a father, a man who wanted his son to carry the torch. Years later, Joe Hennig entered WWE as Curtis Axel, a name born from both father and grandfather. He had the blood, the talent, the timing, but the world had changed. Despite moments of brilliance, Curtis could never break into superstardom like his father. Yet his journey wasn't failure, it was legacy. Because in every move he performed, fans saw a reflection of Mr. Perfect. Sometimes, the greatest success isn't surpassing your father, it's keeping his memory alive. Eddie Guerrero and Shaul Guerrero, the shadow of greatness. Eddie Guerrero was magic, a man of charisma, chaos, and heart. He made people laugh, cry, and cheer, often all in one match. His passing in 2005 left a hole wrestling could never fill. His daughter, Shaul Guerrero, grew up with that legacy and that loss. Shaul trained to become what her father once was, a performer with fire in her veins. She entered WWE's developmental system, showing flashes of the same passion. But Eddie's shadow was too heavy, his memory too sacred. Though Shaul's career never reached the heights of her father's, her presence kept his story breathing. Eddie's spirit still lives not just in her, but in every fan who whispers, "Viva la Raza." Part 8. Bob Orton and Randy. Orton, the Viper's evolution. Cowboy. Bob Orton was a fighter's fighter, tough, rugged, and skilled. He wrestled in an era where pain was real and respect was earned the hard way. But when his son Randy stepped into the ring, the game changed. Randy Orton was cold, calculated, dangerous. Everything his father wasn't. The third-generation superstar became the legend killer, and ironically, killed his own family's shadow. Bob Orton built the name. Randy made it immortal. From evolution to apex predator, Randy's calm cruelty redefined wrestling psychology. He didn't just continue the Orton name, he made it untouchable. A Part 9, Rocky Johnson and The Rock, the people's evolution. Before Dwayne Johnson became The Rock, his father, Rocky Johnson was already breaking barriers, one of the first black champions in WWE history. Rocky fought prejudice, carved respect, and opened doors others could walk through. His son didn't just walk through, he smashed them open. The Rock took charisma to a new level. Every eyebrow raise, every catchphrase, every punch larger than life. Fritz von Erich and the von Erich brothers. Tragedy and triumph. Fritz von Erich was a giant, powerful, intimidating, and proud. He built his own wrestling empire in Texas, raising a family destined for greatness. But destiny can be cruel. One by one, the Von Erich sons fell tragedy after tragedy, loss after loss. Yet even in sorrow, their story never died. Decades later, new generations of Von Erichs stepped back into the ring carrying the same fire, but with hearts healed by time. The Von Erich name became more than a family. It became a symbol of survival. No dynasty has ever endured more pain or shown more strength. The legacy lives on. Legends never die. They simply pass on their story. For every Ric Flair, there's a Charlotte. For every Dusty, a Cody. Every mask, every belt, every dream. Inherited, challenged, and reborn. Wrestling isn't just about wins or titles. It's about bloodlines. About fathers and mothers who once ruled the ring. And the children who dared to step inside their shadow. They weren't handed greatness. They earned it. They didn't live off legacy, they rewrote it. From the golden robes of Flair To the tribal throne of Roman Reigns, to the rising spirit of the Von Erichs, each story proves that time can never kill passion. It only reshapes it. Because wrestling isn't about who came first. It's about who carries the fire forward. This is more than history. This is family. If you believe legacy should never fade, if these stories moved you, then keep them alive. Like the video, share it. And join us as we uncover more untold stories of wrestling's greatest bloodlines. This is Newsia of Wrestling, where wrestling never dies, it evolves. And this is just one chapter in the endless legacy of wrestling families. If you love stories that dive deeper than the ring, don't forget to subscribe to Newsia, where wrestling lives forever.